Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Nimisha Jadon from School of Studies Environmental Chemistry, Jivaji University, Gwalior. Today we are going to discuss about the module Chemical Parameter of Soil Part 3, which comes under the paper of Environmental Analysis. The learning objective of this module including the analysis of calcium and magnesium and their extraction method and the determination of micronutrients like zinc, boron, iron, copper and manganese etc. And also we are going to discuss here about the analysis of trace heavy metals present in the soil sample. So first of all we are taking the determination of calcium and magnesium contained present in the soil sample. The calcium and magnesium ion serves as a plant nutrient and it is a very important constituent which is required for the plant development and growth. In the cation exchange capacity of soils, calcium and magnesium forms the predominant role in the transformation of the nutrients from soil to plant. The exchangeable base constituting 60 to 80% of total exchangeable cations. The calcium clay and the magnesium clay possesses excellent physical conditions and it develops good crumbs structure of virtue of flocculation and the aggregation of primary particles that allow free movement of water without stagnation. It contains sufficient air for the proper aeration of the plant roots and such a soil is highly productive and it supplies necessary plant nutrients to the growth of plant. Here is the picture shows the calcium and the magnesium clay present in the mixed form with the soil. Here now we are discussing about the method of determining calcium and magnesium in the soil. The principle and the method is based on the fact that the calcium, magnesium and the number of other ions forms the stable complex with disodium salt of ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, that is EDTA, at different pH. Tin, copper, manganese, zinc, these are the metals may interfere in for the determination of calcium and magnesium in the soil. Their interferences is prevented by the use of 2% sodium cyanide solution. The apparatus used for this purpose including 1 liter flask, porcelain dishes 3 to 4 diameter, burette of 50 ml capacity, pipette of 5 ml and 10 ml capacity, beaker of 100 ml, then the centrifuge tube or the polythene shaking bottle. Here is the picture that showing the porcelain dishes which used to contain the soil sample and the centrifuge tube to extract out the metal into the soil. The reagents required for this purpose including standard calcium solution of 0.01 normal, EDTA solution, ammonium chloride, ammonium hydroxide buffer solution and 10% NaOH solution. Then hydroxyl amine hydrochloride solution to remove the interference of chloride ion, then potassium ferricyanide, then triethanolamine solution, then EBT, that is ureochrome black tea indicator, then chalcone indicator and neutral normal ammonium acetate solution. Now we discuss here about the procedure of determining calcium and magnesium in the soil sample. For its determination, first of all we have to perform the extraction procedure because we have the calcium and magnesium extract out from the soil to the liquid solution by this extraction procedure. Then this liquid is determined the amount of calcium and magnesium present per amount of soil. For that, first of all, we have to weigh 2 to 4 gram of soil sample which is sieved from 2 mm sieve in a conical flask. Then add 30 ml of ammonium acetate and shake for 5 minutes and decant. Then add 30 ml of 0.5 normal hydrochloric acid solution to each sample and agitate the contents. Then shake for 5 minutes in a upright position. Then filter the solution using Whatman number 1 filter paper and then collect the filtrate. Then estimation of calcium and magnesium is done by using this filtrate. We should pipette out 20 ml of the filtrate into a 150 ml of conical flask, then add 50 ml of distilled water in it, then add 10 to 15 ml of ammonium chloride, ammonium hydroxide buffer solution in the conical flask, then add 10 drops of ammonium hydroxide, hydrochloric acid and the potassium ferricyanide, then TEA and EBT indicator, that is Eurochrome black tea indicator, then titrate it with the help of standard EDTA solution. When the color appear the permanent blue color at the end point. Now here we are discussing about the procedure of determining calcium ion alone in the soil sample. For that, first of all, pipette out 5 or 10 ml of the extract, then add 10 drops of each of like hydroxylamine hydrochloride, potassium ferricyanide and triethanol amine and enough of 10% NaOH to raise the pH of 12. Then add 5 drops of Calcon indicator. Then titrate against the standard EDTA solution. The end point is the change of color from red to blue. The value obtained from calcium plus magnesium and the calcium alone. Then calculate the calcium and magnesium in the soil sample respectively. For the total determination of calcium and magnesium, Eurochrome black tea is used as an indicator in the solution, and for the determination of calcium alone we are using Calcon indicator instead of EBT indicator. And after getting the readings of calcium or the total ion capacity, we can find out the value or the amount of magnesium present in the soil sample. The calculation of total concentration of calcium and magnesium is done by the equation T into 400 into V by V2 into W into 1000, where T is the total volume of EDTA titrate, V1 is equal to total volume of soil extract and V2 is equal to volume of soil extract titrated. Then W is the weight of soil is taken for the extraction procedure. Then the result is expressed in terms of milligram per liter. The magnesium concentration is calculated by subtracting the calcium concentration from the total concentration calculated by this equation. Now we are discussing here about the micronutrients present in the soil. For example, boron, chlorine, copper, iron, manganese and zinc. The micronutrients like boron, chlorine, copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum and zinc are the 7 elements essential for the plants. Their requirement levels of less than 0.1% in the plant's dry matter. Here in this table, the various elements and their respective methods or the reagents and their range of determination is described particularly in this table. The first element is the boron. The boron determination, the interacting factor including crop yield goal, pH, soil moisture, texture, organic matter and the soil type. The reagent or the method used for the analysis of boron is the hot water soluble, and the critical range in level of milligram per kg is the 0.1 to 2 milligram per kg. In the determination of copper, the interacting factor including crop, organic matter, pH or percent calcium carbonate, and the reagents are used. It's the Malik number 1, Malik number 3, DTPA, then ABDTPA, 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid and modified Olsens. The critical range including 0.1 to 10 milligram per kg and 0.1 to 2.5 milligram per kg. Next one important micronutrient is the iron, and the interacting factor including the pH, percentage calcium carbonate, aeration, soil moisture, organic matter and CEC. And the reagents used for this purpose is the DTPA, then ABDTPA, modified Olsens, and the critical range including 2.5 to 5 milligram per kg, then 4 to 5 and 10 to 16 milligram per kg. The next micronutrient is manganese. The interacting factor of manganese including pH, texture, organic matter and percentage calcium carbonate. And the reagents used are the Malik number 1, Malik number 3, DTPA, 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid, 0.03 molar phosphate buffer and modified Olsens. Then its concentration range is 5 at pH 6, 10 at pH 7, 4 at pH 6 and 8 at pH 7. Where DTPA denotes diethylene triamine pentaacetic acid and ABDTPA denotes bicarbonate diethylene triamine pentaacetic acid, and CEC denoted cation exchange capacity. Now we discuss here the extraction procedure of boron. For the extraction of boron, first of all, weigh 10 gram or the scoop 8.5 centimeter cube air dried greater than 10 mesh sieved soil into a refluxing flask. Then add 20 ml of water. Then attached assembly for the refluxing apparatus. Then place the flask on the hot plate. Then the solution is bring to boil and then boil up to the 10 minutes. After boiling the solution, cool down at the room temperature, then filter through the double filter paper. Then collect the filtrate for boron determination. The reagents required for this purpose including azomethene H reagent, then buffer masking reagent. For determining the micronutrients in the soil sample, the most frequently used method is the spectrophotometric method. For this method, first of all, the pipette out 4 ml of the extract into the spectrophotometric cuvette, then add 1 ml of the buffer masking reagent and then 1 ml of the azomethene hydrogen reagent. Then mix whole the solution immediately and keep it for stand for 1 hour. Then read the transmittance or the percentage transmittance at 430 nanometer with the blank water using a UV visible spectrophotometer. Here you have seen the picture of spectrophotometer. In the right side there is a schematic representative of the spectrophotometer. In this figure you have seen that as the transmitted light passes through the sample, then it will be attenuated by the attenuator, and the rest of the light is inhibited by the cell sample, and the only desired wavelength it passes through the monochromator, and then it goes to the detector. Here the phototubes or the photomultiplier tubes are used as a detector in the UV visible spectrophotometer. If it is working on the principle of fluorescence, then the transmittance or the scattered light is determined by using the same detectors, and it is known as a fluorimeter or the phosphorimeter. So by UV visible spectrophotometry, we can identify almost all types of metals with the help of this instrument. Now we concluded the determination through the interpretation of the result. The accurate fertilizer recommendation for boron must be based on the known field responses based on local soil, climate, crop conditions. The category is and the milligram of boron per kg in soil is expressed in the table. For the insufficient boron is present if it is between 1 concentration is less than 1 milligram boron per kg of soil. It is considered for normal growth having the range of 1 to 2 milligram per kg in soil. Range of 2.1 to 5 milligram per kg of boron in soil comes under the category of high concentration of boron in the soil, and more than 5 is considered as a excess amount of boron in the soil. Now the next method that we are using for the determination of micronutrients simultaneously boron, copper, manganese and zinc, that is known as Malik number 3. The principle of the method included the extraction reagent and the determination of boron, copper, manganese and zinc by this procedure. It is applicable across a wide range of soil properties from acid to basic in reaction. Although the method was corrected or the correlated with the established extraction reagents from several regions and critical levels were established. The specific critical levels should be based on local soil, crop, climatic conditions. Good correlation were obtained between Malik number 1, Malik number 3 for the micronutrients boron, copper, manganese and zinc. Malik number 2 and Malik number 3 is used for the manganese and the zinc. The extraction reagent used for the extraction of these micronutrients including 0.2 normal acetic acid, 0.25 normal ammonium nitrate, 0.015 normal ammonium fluoride, 0.013 normal nitric acid, 0.001 molar EDTA solution. Now we come to the part of extraction procedure. For the extraction of these micronutrients into the soil, scoop 5 cm cube air dried greater than 10 mesh screened 2 mm sieve soil particles into an acid washed 100 ml extraction vessel. Then add 50 ml extraction reagent. After that, shake for 5 minutes on a reciprocating shaker. Then immediately filter it and collect the filtrate into the separate conical flask. Save for elemental content determination and then store in a plastic container. Now we come to the part of interpretation of this determination. The boron or the critical boron present in the soil test levels are similar to that for hot water extraction, and the critical copper soil test level was established with the Malik number 3 extraction reagent. The critical level of 0.5 milligram of copper per decimeter cube, which equates to a soil test index of 25, and the calibration of the manganese soil test with this extraction reagent is based on the extractable manganese and the soil pH. Now the next is the trace heavy metal determination in soil. The heavy metals have been variously classified as the one classification considered those elements that have atomic weights greater than 55 considered as heavy metals. Under this classification, the micronutrients like copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum, and zinc would be identified as heavy metals, and their elements are discussed here in the determination of soil. The elements like cadmium, chromium, mercury, nickel, lead, cobalt, and selenium status in soils at findings very high levels. So, the method for the determination of these elements using a variety of extraction reagents, some similar for the determination of the micronutrients such as the DTPA procedure. The DTPA denotes is diethylene triamine pentaacetic acid. The three extraction methods are described here for the determination of heavy metals. The number one method is ammonium bicarbonate DTPA method, that is ABDTPA method. This method can be used for the determination of bioavailability and biotoxicity of boron, molybdenum, nickel, arsenic, cadmium, lead, and selenium in addition to the other elements. The extraction reagent used here is the ammonium bicarbonate DTPA. The next method is the DTPA method. This method is the favorable combination of stability constants for the simultaneous complexing of cadmium and nickel that occurs by the DTPA chelation is used. The theoretical basis for DTPA extraction is the equilibrium of the metal in the soil with the chelating agent. The pH 7.3 is most favored pH, which is buffered with triethylenamine, that is TEA, prevents excess dissolution of the trace heavy metals. The extraction reagent used for this purpose is DTPA, that is diethylene triamine pentaacetic acid. The third one procedure is 0.01 molar calcium chloride method. The reagent has more or less the same ionic strength, that is 0.3 molar, as the average salt concentration in many soil solutions and is able to extract, absorb cations. The electrolyte concentration stays practically constant and the metal concentration reflects the differences in binding strength and the solubility among various soils, and the measured elements reflects their availability at the pH of the soil since the extractant is an unbuffered solution. The extraction reagent used here is 0.01 molar calcium chloride hydrated. So at the end of this module, we can conclude it that today we studied about the extraction procedure and the procedure of the different micronutrients and the calcium and magnesium ion. Along with that, trace heavy metals present in the soil sample. We have discussed a detailed method of determination of calcium and magnesium that are present in the soil, because these are the ions that play the important roles in the solubility of the micronutrients from soil to the plant. So that's why their determination is essential in the soil sample. Along with that, the macronutrients that including iron, manganese, boron and zinc is also determined with the different spectrophotometric method, and the analysis of trace heavy metals also discussed here, and they can be determined either by using spectrophotometer or by atomic absorption spectrophotometric method. So their analysis method have been discussed here, and detail of a different reagent used for the extraction procedure is also discussed in this module. Thank you so much.